Remember, in terms of occupational qualification, it is what can you do more than what you know.
The ILO has adopted quality apprenticeship recommendation in 2023, wherein scope was also a part of the delegation, the Indian delegation, represented by our Director General. And in fact, he was the titular member for this Committee of Quality Apprenticeship. So it is very positive, a very positive development, as while the Indian government has been doing its bit to strengthen the apprenticeship system in the country, but the fact that it's coming from the International Labour Organization gives it more strength. And I'm sure that now with the ILO's recommendation and the interaction that I've had here with our government representatives, closer cooperation between industry and government would be in the anvil, so that we also can together work for developing the youth of our country.
So ILO DWT and Country Office for India has been anchoring this project since last year. This is the project focused on South-South Triangular Cooperation on quality apprenticeships. The countries that are included as part of this intervention are India, China, South Africa, Ethiopia and Switzerland. So we are actually looking into mutual cooperation, looking into the pillars of knowledge sharing, capacity building, understanding from each other the good practices, the policy dialogues, and also at the end coming out with draft action plan so that country can take them up and also can mutually cooperate with regard to quality apprenticeship.
Another thing I think we can also do is the publicity. I heard from the introduction from South Africa that they have their top officials together with the professionals went around the country to tell the enterprises, including SMEs, that there will be a long-term benefit for the apprenticeship, encouraging more students to join in these kind of programs. I think that's a very useful experience that we can also learn from. So when we go back, we can also advocate the government together with social partners to enhance this kind of publicity.
It has been a very good experience because seeing these four countries coming together and sharing experiences on from different countries on apprenticeship, and that was the essence in terms of South-South Triangular Cooperation. It gives people, it has given participants the opportunity to learn from each other.
From South Africa, they have well-structured, good system. The CITA is well-structured, it's best. The Indians and the Chinese have also good experiences. We have learned a lot from them. So, but to meet our target, we are still planning to combine the three experiences together in areas of policy, strategy, and also with digitalization, with quality assurance systems that they are using.
The past 5 days experience, it was very good. We are identified our gap, where we are identified where we are and where we go.
The interesting part of this workshop is the practical visits we have undertaken. For last 2 days we went to different areas, especially the factories like Toyota and mining CITA, which is a skill council. And then we went to the Gandhi Mandela Center, which was very wonderful. They have done a remarkable work in terms of apprenticeship. So the trainees are coming from India and they are training the students here and they are learning here. So these things are going on. Then we went to a tool center, a testing center, tool testing center, where the examination was also going on. So it's overall, it's not only a theoretical framework, but also embedded with the practical aspects, which what made this conference, this workshop, a very distinctive one.
Because my India country is going to be a youngest country of the world. By 2025, the age group of up to 29, 64% of population will be the youngest. And for that, it is a very good workshop that we will carry out the outcome of this workshop to the government.
One of the key learnings for us has the learning and understanding of how India has actually taken quite a fragmented model with 50 different states and be able to create a single portal. And of course in South Africa we have 21 seaters, and I think the opportunity for us to start harmonizing our system and consolidating it is a great learning for us. And of course digital technology adds a great enhancement to the system as well. So we were richly informed by what India has actually done and inspired to realize that we can actually look at building for the future in terms of the South African model. The second element, and I think it was our Chinese colleagues who really reinforced this for us, but was that learning of how we can be better advocates in terms of the value that quality apprenticeships can actually play in our country, particularly for our youth unemployment, addressing them in terms of quality employment and self-employment, and helping our SME sectors where we know the job opportunities actually exist to actually embrace quality apprenticeships. But we also appreciate as well that some policy implementation or assistance in terms of removing red tape will probably be necessary before we can actually encourage and support SMEs to move into this particular space.
The ARPL, Artisan Recognition of Prior Learning, came from our minister. We have got huge people in the country that could not access education due to the previous system of apartheid. Now, the minister said, let us come up with a system that will also accommodate those people. The people were working in the big industries but without any qualification. So what we did was to think of a model that will incorporate those that did not have a formal education but have very huge experience. So what we did, we get them into the program, we assess them to gauge their experience that they've gained over time, and then when they get out of the program, they only get the access to a trade test. Obviously, then they'll go and do a trade test and qualify as an artisan like any other person that went through a formal program.
The ILO is a tripartite organization, so we bring together employers, workers, and governments to come together to have conversations about decent work. And when we talk about decent work, it is very important to mention that we work in skills to make sure that the skills development is relevant to the needs of the labor market. We need to bring together employers, we need to bring together social partners such as TVET institutions, bring together workers, trade unions to come together and come up with a solution. It is not a one-size-fits-all model. This is not the role of the ILO. The ILO, we facilitate the conversation between the stakeholders so that they can come up with their own solutions relevant to their specific context. I think for apprenticeship to be relevant, we need also to make sure that the skills that are required in the labor market, they are going through apprenticeship for this, because it is not interesting to go through an apprenticeship program where in the next 2-5 years you will no longer be using those skills. I think we need to take into consideration the future dimensions of the skills needs when it comes to apprenticeship.
I think the first one is from China, which is a quality apprenticeship. That model, it's a very interesting one where after training the learners, they take them for the competition and they award them according to their scores. I am actually on policy adherence and I work with the informal economics, so I make sure that I popularize what is needed in terms of compliance. So particularly as we speak of the apprenticeship now, we're looking at the production, we're looking at the skill, we're looking at, we bring every aspect of development in the apprenticeship skills. So we make sure that we capacitate them recruit more of unemployed youth to enter into apprenticeship.
The past 5 days was very, very successful and informative for me in particular to interact with delegates from various SSTC countries such as India, where I have learned that out of the 50 states that they have with different apprenticeship approaches, but at the end of the day they have what is called one pot system. I liked that one.